Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. What is it, like number 42 or 43 on isolation? Anyway, today is an exciting day. We're finishing off the back portion of the Bronco, and there's a pile of work being done. So let's get at it. And I wanted to point them out to you. So I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to go to a couple of areas and just try to give a couple of quick tips on how I think, or helpful tips that might help a guy do this again, a slightly different way than what I do.
Here's one of the taillight housings, and you can see this edge right here. That looks great. It looks like it would fit inside the quarter panel, but it doesn't. On the other one, I had to trim this down by at least 3/8 of an inch to get it to actually fit inside. So don't be thinking that you're going to just buy these panels and they're going to bolt right up. In fact, I remember Matt from Matt's Garage saying something about that, and anyway, he was absolutely right. So what I did do though is all your body mounts, they're all in place, but they're loose, so that you can wiggle things around a little bit and kind of, if you need to, you can kind of adjust. Initially I had the bed all fastened down, and then I realized I was a little too short, and I was trying to squash the quarter panel into a spot where it really didn't work right. So then, of course, there's these tabs. They help hold everything in place, and I can see why they're actually a separate piece now, because I had to see the screw right here. I just keep taking it off and putting it back on. It's too hard to twist things around otherwise. So my tips. I mentioned that I got some tips. Well, I would put your striker plate on and just put a couple Tech screws in it in the spot that it belongs, and it's down here, and you can see how it actually fits basically right here, and it rests on top of your rocker panel right there. Okay, so like I said, I've had to do a little bit of cutting and massaging to get everything to fit properly. So that's that part. Back here, you can see where I had to cut around the top of the housing to get the top of the quarter panel to fit. I've tacked it in one spot there and one spot there. Obviously, I'm a little reluctant to tack in too many places because all of a sudden you got to take something off and it's not right. But I've mocked everything in place, and I think I'm pretty good. But I'll be using the Tech screws, and as I'm I've got everything. I've got holes all along the bottom here so that I can weld the bottom part of the quarter panel in place from the top. I like welding down as opposed to welding up, and I did that in the last one. It seemed to work out good. There's a nice fit down there with the rocker panel joining the striker post. So I'm starting to babble. I don't want to babble because I don't want to bore you. Another thing you need to do, of course, is make sure that your tailgate, that's my old one there, I got a new one. Just make sure that your measurements are right between this side and that side. And again, I've got the other box over there that I measured, and it's actually 56 inches from here to here. So that's what I'm doing. But before I go and weld everything, I'm going to bring the other tailgate down, and I'm going to put my bushings in place here and here, of course, and make sure that it actually fits, because you never know what is going on with that box over there. That could have been manipulated by somebody before. Well, there's you can just see my new hood. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I mocked everything in place up front, and we're in good shape. I think it's going to look nice when it's done.
I guess first thing I want to say is that any of you that are paying attention probably see me wearing this shirt a lot and think that maybe it's the only shirt I have, but I have more than one. It's just, this is long sleeves, and it's cold up here, and I run back and forth to the house all the time, and my garage is nice and warm, but it's nice to have a shirt like this that I can get dirty and ruin, and not my other clothes, because my wife gets upset with me, and we don't want her being upset. Anyway, I'm still working on the box, the bed, whatever you want to call it, on this truck, and I've realized why there aren't any videos online showing you how to do this, because it's tough.
So here's the driver's side. As you can see, nice and neat. The wheel well fits in. Everything's nice. the space here for your pollution pipes and everything like that. And then in the back, I'm assuming that's what that space is for. I can't think of any other reason. And this is where your filler hose comes up to the side of your quarter panel. That looks good. So all the actual inner quarter panel is welded in place. And actually in here, it's not. It's just Tex screwed. Then we go to the other side, and I have just finished putting the corner on, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. But the funny thing is, you get going with your vice grips and everything like that. You've got everything in place, and then you give it a little pound here to make sure it's nice and flush, and then it doesn't work out as perfect as you thought. I had a couple of marks here where I needed to grind inside there so that I could have a nice seam all the way down, and it's good. But like there's a spot right here where it's not as perfect as I would like. It's sort of, you can't even see it. It's only with a 16th of an inch, and I can probably fix that with a bit of putty, and actually you might not even notice it. Anyway, we're moving along here. I made a horrendous mistake. Please don't do this. You can see on the other side where I didn't install the outer quarter panel, and I had space to get at the wheel wells and everything like that. I could just, I had my drill, and you're fastening your Tex screws. Everything's great. But as you can see on this side, I didn't have that. So because I got excited and I was working along and everything was cool, and I went ahead and fastened my outer quarter panel. And as you can see, I mean, it's fastened all the way along there. It's all ground down now. The rocker panel's joined down below. And so don't do that. And then you get the nice welds all across the top. And we'll do the same thing over there. But if I can give anybody any advice at all, is that you got to tackle this with an open mind, that you're going to have to take things apart quite a bit, and you're going to have to grind things down. And I don't know why. I don't know why everything's not made perfect, but it's just not. So you've got to, like this edge on the striker panel or post, I had to grind that down. Same with the other side. I had to grind. Oh, I mentioned in my last video, I had to grind the top off the posts in the back, the taillight posts in the back. For some reason, they didn't fit. These pieces right here, that area right below this panel, I had to cut, about 1/8 of an inch off this one and a 1/16 off that one. So it was different. So all I can say is that tackle it. It's a lot of fun. There's some access panels. Just seeing here, it reminds me, you're going to have to take these out so that you can get inside to do a little welding and things like that, and get clamps in place once you're putting the housing on the back. You can see that's welded in place there right now. And inside here, oh look, there's so much junk around. Everything, all these other pieces, they fit really, really well. There's the frame all nice and cleaned up, and yeah. I just love this stuff. Everything is coming along really, really well. And it's getting a lot more fun. Anybody that's been watching since the beginning knows what this was like, and it was rough. And now everything is just kind of starting to take shape here and go together. And there's the other quarter right here that'll be either later tonight or tomorrow. Well, actually, no, that won't go on for a little bit, because I've got to get I'm going to do these, fasten everything in place once I measure the roll cage. One of the things I'm doing is taking a seam sealer on all these joints. I mean, it looks ugly. And then I'm going to spray Easy Liner all the way across through here. And I've decided I'm going to do the wheel wells with Easy Liner as well. Now here's all the welds. They just got a quick coat of primer over them. And all the welds here and in there. The other side's just about done too. And it's coming along well. This side went really well because I was smart enough to leave the quarter panel off. I forgot. On the other side, I just got carried away, and I was welding, and sure enough. But I'm going to scare you here with something, because this is pretty wild. Can you imagine spending all this money buying these quarter panels and then just butchering them like this? I know, it's crazy, but it's the look I like. So, and there's all fresh welds in here. and everything's looking good. Vice grips are in place, all that sort of thing. But like I said, this corner ended up really well. It needs a tiny bit of finish work on it. It was strange. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this because it's weird. Oh, sorry, get the camera off. This quarter is an entirely different design, and then you've got this flow right here. Like, this is all one piece, so it flows. You know, it's got a natural curve. This piece here doesn't have the curve at all, and you got to try and join them somehow. And I might require some assistance from somebody that's a little better than I am at trying to rectify that problem. But I mean, I really don't know what you're supposed to do because everything needs to line up, right? You know, and these two are lining up really, really close. The top is nice and flush. Anyway, there's just little problems that you run into. Finishing this up, and that wheel well is all welded in place. So things are looking good. Within another few days, I hope to get a coat of primer on everything inside here and seal all these joints too, of course. But that's all finished. This side is basically done in these spots. This side is entirely done. I had to tack a couple here, and I'll clean those up. But the way it looks from inside, there's no visible welds, which is what I was really going for. And anyway, it's looking good. Like I said in previous videos, we have a serious problem with rust up here. And sometimes, in fact, when I go out and salt the driveway and I come in and I've got salt in my hands, I'm afraid the Bronco's going to just vanish because it's so salty. Anyway, there's that quarter's done. It's not perfect, but man, I spent a pile of time with different hammers and beating and bending on the corner and everything to get it as good as I got it. And nobody else is going to notice it. It's just me, you know. Anyway, that's where we're at. And but I mean, check out the tailgate. I mean, these are nice lines on either side of the tailgate posts, corner posts, tail light posts. Sorry. I mean, look at this. So I mean, you have to stop somewhere. And I mean, you still have all kinds of adjustment with the tailgate too. But my point is that you worry about the big things, and you have to let the little ones kind of fall into place. Like your corner posts, they got to be good. And I mean, there might be a little bit of body work involved when it's all done just to get them perfect. I'm sure that these Broncos coming out of these other shops, they got professionals that are working and doing a little bit of body work here and there to make sure that they're spiffed up. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the way things are. That was a big deal building that box. I thought about it a long time. Now it's done, so that's cool. Next big deal is windshield. I got to fasten that in place. I'm leaving the doors on so that we can make sure that it's all lining up the way it needs to. And one of these days I'm going to take a walk up in the backyard and show you the top, where it's sitting right now and what I have planned for it. But anyway, that's where we're at for now. And I think I'll probably change these wheels and tires too. What do you think?
Wow, that was a pile of work. But you got to be really, really patient with that stuff, and you just can't decide, well, I'm going to weld it and forget about it. You know, say the hell with it, because if you do, then you're not going to be happy with it when it's all done. Anyway, it worked out great. So next week we're going to cut a fender out. We're going to change some hinges on the old hood to the new hood. We're going to install the windshield frame. So stick with me. It just keeps getting better and better and better. More exciting things to watch. All right. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And if you like, subscribe, share it through Facebook, whatever you want. I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope you are too. Have a great day.